everybody. Peter Matsoukas here with Derek Tao, co-producer, unit production manager, first assistant director, and I'm sure you wore a few more hats on the film No Place. Hey, Derek, how you doing today, man?
Hi. Yeah, the toughest role was the husband, though, I think.
Yes.
I think by far. I spent a lot of time working on that.
Yeah, Michael Durr shot that. You looked very debonair and powerful.
Husbandy. Yeah.
How are you doing these days?
It's tough because I worry about everybody else. I worry about all my friends and colleagues right now who are really a lot worse off, and that's really been a struggle because there's nothing I can really do for them. I can't hold an event. I can't hold a fundraiser. We can't do a shoot. We can't. It's a struggle. We're fine at home. We're kind of stir crazy and doing all the projects and stuff like that, but man, it's just throwing a monkey wrench in the whole thing. So
it's definitely, especially you're right in the middle of so many things in terms of indie film on many different levels. We'll get to that in a little bit, but first, tell the nice audience out there about your participation in No Place. How did the project come to you, and how'd you make it work?
So I had I had met you through Greg Malone, Road Pictures, and had seen your other film, which you were able to show here at the studio during one of our live artist events that we do here. And that's, I think, when I first met you. I think was doing that, and I loved the film. I thought it was a great, well done film. It was short. It was very well produced and written and acted. I thought it was a good one. Hopefully, you'll put the link right there.
That's for people. Thank you, man. That's for you later. Thank you.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I'll Venmo it. Don't worry.
I got to make money somehow, whether it's bribery or whatever. So I'd seen that film, and then of course, we just sort of met and started talking, and then you said, "Hey, I've just got this other project that I'm doing," and sent me the script, and I said, well, "How can I help? Absolutely, want to help this thing." I mean, a lot of local filmmakers are trying to do really tough scripts to make, even on a large budget. A lot of sci-fi or a lot of elements in it that are really tough. This one was a character-driven piece. I thought it was something we could really spend the right amount of time and the right amount of money to get this one done. It felt to me like it was a simple but complex sort of script. The complex being in the acting, I think, and in those inside the scenes. But as far as making the film, I thought it was pretty straightforward, and that's what we need to do with this one. And I think we did that. I really like what we've done so far. So yeah.
I do as well. And I think when I reached out to you, I talked to Ben a little bit, and we were in the process of putting it together. And it wasn't until we met you or really talked to you about the project, and you said that you'd help us make it, and that it really took off because you gave us the infrastructure to do that. The studio, the grip equipment, your connections to the Indianapolis film community, your vast experience is sort of with, the terrain, locations, people. It was like truly having another, a producer to really help us. And we are just totally indebted to you for that. It really took off. And I think you also helped us schedule it, right? And sort of put it together, in terms of the logistics.
Yeah. So I put my assistant director cap on a little bit and push that through. But, that's what I think I'm here to do. I came into this thinking I'll be a director, of filmmaker, and I did a film on my own. And then I didn't have the drive to do another one after that. And I didn't feel like I was an artist that I had something I got to get out there. I got to get my scripts and my stories out there. So I sort of became this, and I kept working obviously in the field, but I sort of became this person that I just want to help other people get their things done, because I know exactly how they feel. And sometimes there's just that one person that comes along and says, let's do it. And let's do it now. Let's get on the schedule, put it on the books. Let's just make it happen. Let's make it go. And I think I've got resources to be able to do that. And it was a no-brainer, I loved it because the process really, it seemed like everything that came up, there was a solution. And it was a good solution. Like if we lost a DP, we had another one with the same kind of camera. It just worked out. A lot of things really worked out. And really that's relationships. And that's, just knowing the town, and not just me knowing it, but just people that we know and on the crew that really push us. Oh, call this person, and we got through it. I never really felt like there was a stopping point or a point where it was going to fall apart or anything like that. I think we created, and the biggest role for me is to create a place where the director and the actors can do their best work. So even if it's on a short film or an independent film or a big film, your job is to create a space for the actors, the professionals, to do their best work. And I think we were able to do that. That's what I think was really the proudest thing for me, is to say, I think we did that. I think every set we had was locked up. I think every location was what you saw was something that would work for the story, and they just kept coming. And when we lost a hotel, we found this other piece and this other element, and just stuff like that. It was neat. It just, some things just start falling into place, and you don't know why some things do that, but just having good people around and professional people around makes all that difference.
No, I agree totally. I think what was so important was that we created a climate where artists could feel empowered to do their best work in, a safe space. And obviously that's important for actors, but it's important for all crew people to take risks, and really push boundaries and try to get the best, most unique work they can do.
Yeah.
So I felt like we did that. I also think that the nature of low budget filmmaking is you have to, you have lots of restrictions, and you have to work with those. You have to find creative solutions. You don't have infinite money, and I think we tried our best to do that. Rolled with the punches in many ways.
I think we did. And, we could probably list about 10 different things that kind of fell apart last minute, but, hey, we got them fixed, and we just keep rolling with it. And I don't know, I enjoyed doing the low budget things because you do have to get creative with fixes. And a lot of times the high budget things are such a headache. It's so much more of a creative, they're both struggles. They're both marathons, but for some reason on an independent level, you got everybody's on the same boat, rowing in the same direction. Whereas on a bigger picture or a bigger budget thing, a lot of times it's departments and it's everybody working in silos.
Right.
On this, we were such a tight, small crew that, hey, we got to make adjustments on the fly. Everybody was down with it. And that's just the kind of people that we had on the set. I think they were great professionals, great people. And I think you're going to see in the final product that it's a comfortable look on set or on camera on the screen because it was a comfortable set.
Right.
I don't think there was ever a super high pressure to get in or out of a location, or we're running out of this or we're running out of that, or we didn't have lunch. It was all these kind of things that we just managed to make it go. And I think those all everything comes off onto the screen. Everything will come through, and I think that helps this picture get to where it wants to go, because we were all making it happen and everybody was passionate.
Definitely. So you tell us about the box, your studio, and tell us about what you do with it, and also how we used it for our film, because we shot, I think, 7 or 8 different locations in the box. But just give us a little elevator pitch about your place over there.
Yeah. So I had come up through Florida, and I'd spent some time meeting some people in LA, and I saw a lot of setups where production companies would have a creative space in the front, some sort of a space that's sort of officey. You have edit suites, you have room for creatives to happen. Clients come in and meet and all that stuff. And they usually have some kind of a theater setup or a large screen or something. And then they would have maybe some more offices in the middle or some sort of a common area. And then they would have a studio in the back. And I had seen 3 or 4 setups like this, and I love that. I always thought that's something someday I want to have that. And that's basically what I was able to create here at this space. And it's about 3,000 square feet, just northwest of downtown Indy. And, it was the perfect size of a space to be able to create an insert stage in Indy that I think would work. Too big of a space would not work enough, and they're too expensive to maintain. So I think we found a good middle of the road size with this space, and we spent a lot of time making it the quietest studio in town. So the studio part of it, 1,200 square feet, is I would say 95% soundproof. So in a black box space, we don't have a white site. That was important because sound is just as important as video when you're talking about making something happen. And especially for independents, we don't have time to wait for airplanes and trains and all that stuff. So we have to try to find a location that's quiet. That makes a big difference in your film. And so I was able to do that with the box. It's a versatile space. I think we used the front space quite a bit. We used the middle space some. We used the back, the studio. We used outside the space. I think we maybe used the roof. We used the streets around the studio quite a bit. And what else was cool about it is that it was kind of a central location for our home base, our mission control. And that was really important because it gave everybody sort of a home ground. And when you're doing a feature, you're doing a long-term thing, you want some kind of a grounding space, some kind of a place where everybody knew there's the home of the production instead of we're always out of our cars. And so I was glad to offer it up kind of as mission control for the film. We did all our script readings here. We did a lot of castings here and camera tests, whatever we were doing. And I was proud to do that. That's exactly what this place is built for. Independence. It's built by artists for artists. So, but yeah, we ended up doing, I don't know how many scenes, 6 or 8 here. I think we had originally talked about just doing one as the studio, as the nightclub.
Yeah. Yeah, we did the club, the comedy club.
Yeah, the comedy club, inside, outside.
We did the falafel place.
Yeah, that's right.
Spencer's back room to the poker area. So we really shot the hell out of it.
The door lock. I mean,
the door lock.
Put away.
Anyway, it worked out really well. I'd say probably 80% of the film was shot at the box and at Birdside Inn.
So in Birdside, yeah, no question.
It made for a very efficient shoot. And just tell us about what you do at the box for your artist showcases and stuff, because I think that, you know, those nights are so great, not just supporting local artists, but just the good vibe of like being out once we're out of quarantine and we can do something. And
I know.
You know, I think the box is a good place to go. So just tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we had a show scheduled for April called Culinary Art. So we usually do a theme around our events, and what we've been doing, last year we did 6 of them every other month. And it was just something we just threw together. The answer is usually yes. When someone comes to me with an idea, let's do it. Let's figure it out. Mike Durr actually started producing these with me, and and Corey Easterday and Ben Madrid, who's a producer on this show. He's been helping out with my artist showcase. And a number of people have come into them and shown their work. But we basically said, let's have a party. Let's do about 3 hours every other month. We'll do beer and wine, and we'll invite 10 artists to show their work. That's the concept. And so we would pick video artists, film artists, photographers, sculptures, painters, body art, live art, music, you name it. If it's artistic, we'll find, and you want to come show off your work to colleagues and the general public. That's kind of all it was. It was a thing. We called it gallery for the first year, and now we've just changed it to artist showcase. And we're going to do them every quarter now because they're getting just to be too much work. But they're selling out. People love it. We're very happy to do it. We're going to keep doing more of them as soon as we can all get back into a room together. I've tried to figure out a way to do it where everybody's 6 feet apart, but I don't think we can do it yet, or do it outdoors or something. But that's still even a thing. But yeah, I mean, it's just a way to bring artists out of their comfort zone a little bit and put them in front of a mic if they want and talk about their work. And most of the artists have come back saying, I didn't think I could do it. I didn't want to talk to people about it, but after I've done it, I have a whole new appreciation for people to speak. I feel more confident, you know, and that's been the coolest thing to me is artists coming back saying, thank you for letting us show our work. You know, you can sell it to the people here too. Some people have been selling the work, but it's mostly just to say, I'm putting it in front of people's faces and I don't get to talk about it. And that's a unique situation. So it's a unique show. It's a unique gallery, and we're happy to do it. We're going to do more of them. So,
well, you know, this artist says thank you for a different reason, but I appreciate all you do for our film, obviously, but you know, you're really an important person in this scene. And I just, you know, I'm really grateful that we met, and I'm happy we could work on this together, and hopefully some more projects in the future.
Absolutely. Well, let me ask you a question. We are almost done with this thing.
Yeah.
Right. It's in the hands of the people that do all their last bits and pieces on it. How do you feel about it? Where is it in your mind right now?
I feel really good about it. I think with the sound mix and the color, it's really bringing out elements of it that I never dreamed of. Like it's really enhancing it, and just sort of tying a lot of things together in my mind, like thematically, but also visually, that I don't think I fully grasped until it went to this final process when, Jacob Belinsky and Kent Vernon, they're doing like incredible work, stuff that I could never do, mixing to this level and color. It's just, these people really have a passion for it, and they're just expert technicians, and I'm really happy with it. And I'm just excited to finish it. I want to get it out, I want to do it right, and then, move on, and just hopefully it gets out into the world, and hopefully the people who made it will enjoy it, and hopefully be as proud of it as I am. So
How different is the movie that was in your mind to the movie that you're now seeing? Like, when did it get its own sort of life and take on its own life, and you find these little accidents that happen here and there, right, in post, where you really make your movie in post, right? When did you say, oh my gosh, there's something else going on here that I never really saw? It's coming together because it's an organic process, right?
Yeah. I'd say that for the most part, what was on the page is in the final cut, but we were able, because we took the time, we were able to tweak certain things. And I didn't think that we'd ever have to reshoot or shoot additional scenes, but the stuff that we reshot and added to the film have really, I think, added to the emotional weight of it and just made it more complex and interesting and more unique. And I think because we took the time to do it, and we hadn't, there was still more story to tell, and we sort of filled in a lot of the color that way. And I think that was where it was in between that first cut and the reshoots that it kind of took shape. So so it was definitely different than what I thought it would be, but yeah, man, I'm psyched. We're just trying
to try to do this in the end of May, right?
Yeah, I was hopefully, I still think we're on schedule. I mean, I think by the end of April, it'll start going out. So I've been reviewing cuts and passing notes, and, it's a little bit harder to do it when you can't sit in a room with someone and work with them.
Yeah.
But, they've been sending me cuts. I've been going back, and, it's been great. So I think the graphic you gave me will be the last thing we drop in there. So.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm happy to have that.
Because it's all time coded right now. But, so once we'll just like put this at the front and be like, sign, seal, deliver. Let's rock. So.
Good. Outstanding.
Anyway,
I'm super stoked about it. The last cut I saw was awesome. I could totally see it coming together, and I think you added some more bits and pieces to it that are just going to make it, it's all just spices, right? It's all a recipe. It's all an experiment in the kitchen.
You've always used that analogy, and I like it. It's definitely true. It's definitely true. Yeah. I mean, especially
and you have to put the right spices in the right places at the right time. And you're the master there. You're the one that has to put all this stuff together. And it's a job. I bet you've learned a lot. I mean, I bet you moving forward for the next one, you'll be like, oh my gosh. Going through what I've been through.
Just, got to always keep growing and learning and, keep trucking. So anyway, my friend, thank you so much for joining me today. And hopefully soon we'll be able to hang out in the box, have a beer.
Won't be long.
Won't be long.
All right.
Peace, bro.
Thanks.